I guess we'll wait for Bernie to finish eating, and then we'll get started. I don't know if you want to listen to that for 20 minutes. Bernie seems to have settled down, so we'll get started. Welcome back to another What Sold video. This is probably going to cover like the last week of August, September, and October. September and October were exceptionally, I would say, bad months. Good sales, good numbers, I suppose, considering that my store has consistently been under 150 items listed for months now. Every time I try to get a little buffer and I list some items, sales quickly knock it down. So I guess based on the amount of inventory sitting in my store, these are decent sales. I'd like them to be better though. So October picked up, I'd say, all right. Way better than September was. September was terrible. And November's off to a pretty good start, so keeping my fingers crossed. I'm getting some items listed, and we'll hope that these numbers improve for the next video. You'll have to excuse my voice if I sound a little nasally or I just break into a coughing fit. I've been sick this week. I was going to make this video earlier in the week, and my voice just wasn't up to it. I was going through a lot of coughing fits. It's still right here, I can feel it. Anyhow, this is 32 items from, like I said, about the last week of August through most of October. Any other things I want to ramble about? I don't believe so. I think this is a short ramble. I suppose we'll just get started here. 3, 2, 1, and here we go. So this first item, a Snoopy bobblehead. It was a giveaway at a Pirates game. I picked this up at a garage sale. A couple bucks. It was part of a bundle. Back when I got those Disney Lincoln logs. So on top of the money I made on those, made another $42. Take a best offer of $42 on this, plus shipping. As always, every item you see is calculated shipping. So awesome profit there. I didn't go through this time like the last video to talk about what were promoted and what weren't, because I turned them off, I turned them on, I turned them off, and I know you're still on the hook for 30 days after promoting a listing if someone still purchased it through that ad that they clicked. It's very stupid. So I could tell you what's promoted, but I'm not going to bother because it was so up and down. Just, I sold it. That's what we're covering today. This was a lot of 13 VTech V-Smile cartridges. Bought a system, a bunch of controllers, and all the games for like 10 bucks. The system, I couldn't get it to work properly ever, and the game seemed decent, so I wanted to at least make my money back, and I did. Made a profit, as a matter of fact. So $29.44 for those. The Office Trivia board game, I've covered this to death. Another copy out the door. This was the best one I've ever found. It was open, but all the contents were still unpunched. So I just said it was new. I mean, it was new. Full price, full asking price, $67.44 for the Office Trivia. And I will pick this up every single time I see it, in any condition, unless it smells. If it smells smoky or mildewy, I'd probably leave it behind. But any other time I'll pick them up, because just having the parts alone can be helpful if you have games you want to piece back together, because you can always get a pretty good amount for the Office Trivia. Guitar Hero on tour for the DS. Bought this at a garage sale over the summer. I paid $1, and it was new sealed in package. Was asking $32.44. Took a best offer, $20 for Guitar Hero. I can't even imagine doing that with a DS. It's just the dexterity you would need. I'm not even that good at it on a regular system with adult-sized controllers. Something, if you're a newer viewer, you'll notice some of my best offers seem very low. One of the ways that I like to list on eBay, I list through the moon. I try to get what's the most I think somebody would pay for this, and that's the price that I'll start at, always with best offers on. So even if I take $20 less, odds are the price I've sold it for is more reasonable to the market than where I'm pricing it. For as often as I can get people to pay full price for things that, like this next item, I don't think I should have gotten this much money for these, but I did. 20 bucks would have been reasonable. But this next item, it was a lot of 7 Good Eats, Alton Brown's Good Eats DVDs. They were $1 a piece at Goodwill. A handful of them were still wrapped in the cellophane. The other ones look like, you know, they got washed once and put back. They were in perfect condition. So put the lot together, and I got $48.44 for my Good Eats DVDs. I watched the ones that were open because I do like Alton Brown. He's taught me a lot about cooking. Good Eats is a good show, but that's neither here nor there. Let's talk about the next thing. Polaroid. This was, I talked about this in a video. I was trying to hoard a bunch, and then retrospect, I guess they really weren't buying for a while. Well, they started buying up because that's who bought this one. However, they were only paying 10 bucks, and that was fine. I paid like maybe $2-3 for it. This is when I was trying to clear the garage out of old stale stuff that I hadn't listed, so just happy to be rid of it. Made a couple bucks after fees and stuff. So yeah, best offer of 10 bucks to Retrospect LLC. A 511 tactical vest. This was new with tags. Picked this up at Red, White, and Blue a couple months ago. This was when I was running a 10% off promotion. Somebody purchased this at $54. Okay, so I was running 10% off, and they still didn't pay that. They ended up offering $45. So $45 on a best offer for the 511 tactical vest new with tags, and I think I paid like $8-9 for it. Reindeer Mugs, complete set of Santa's little reindeer mugs. I looked them up. I was surprised at what the sets were selling for. This was brand new in the box, so I figured I'm gonna get something for this. I'm gonna shoot for the moon. I had them up as high as $80-something. Slowly back down the price. They settled at $76.44 when I ran a 10% off promotion in the store, and they sold for $68.80. And shipping, I feel like shipping was kind of high on those. They were heavy. Pyro Design a Car Kit. It's just an old vintage model kit. All the pieces were there. $1.99 I think I paid at Goodwill for that. And I took a best offer of $25. And that was another expensive ship. The box was it wasn't heavy, but the dimensions going to California, because I remember it specifically, it was way more than I thought it was going to be. Luckily, calculated shipping covered that, but it's very expensive to ship that. If you're a new seller, if this is a new adventure for you, selling things on eBay, always, always, always weigh and measure your items. Do not guess. Because 2 or 3 inches nowadays with the post office, it can be the difference of $15. Anyhow. Next was the lids off jar opener. Paid $2.50, I think, at a garage sale for this. Was $44.77. Sold for $40.29. I wrote $45.10. I'm not sure what happened here. My paperwork says $45.10. So something's not adding up with what's on the screen. Either way, paid a couple bucks at the garage sale. Made $44 to $45. I don't know what happened there. Next is a vintage Ninja Turtle poster out of the wrestling box. I've made excellent money off of these posters. This one I didn't make great money. 25 bucks, best offer. I just, it's one of those things that's been in the store for a year, so just let's get rid of it. 25 bucks, it's all profit. The wrestling box has paid for itself a million times over at this point, so $5 for this poster would have been great. We've talked about Alf a couple times. He was a great find. He came from Goodwill, and he was in great condition, and he sold so fast. I mean, the speed that Alf sold at, like 3-4 days, I know it was quick. I don't know the exact amount of days, but I know that I talked about him in a video where I picked him up, and then I talked about him in the next video, and he was already gone. So that's not saying much, because sometimes there's months between my videos, but I know that those were pretty close together. $48.77, full price, full asking price for Alf. Paid a couple bucks for him. Blow molds. We covered the blow molds. We don't need to beat this into the ground. You can go watch pretty much any video on this channel, and I'm sure I've talked about blow molds. This was a great, great sale. Each one of those pieces individually in the group of 9 that I bought, they're $6 into each piece. Sold for full price, $299 $0.77. This is one of the exceptions to the free shipping. I did charge $45 flat shipping, and it ended up costing me around $60 to ship these pieces. So it was $20 out of the $300 that it sold for. Still awesome, still great, especially like I said, $6.66 in each piece. If I still have it right now, I'll show it. This was a breakdown of the blow molds that I purchased and have sold to date out of this one lot. So if you're looking at it, there it is. That's the information. If you're not, I didn't have it anymore, and this probably would just get cut out of the video. A ceramic Christmas tree. We all know these. Little Christmas tree, has a light bulb in it, lights up. This was picked up, funny enough, the Snoopy bobblehead at the beginning of the video, and the Lincoln Logs. All three items came from the same garage sale. If I remember correctly, I'd have to go back and watch. I paid $15 to $20 for everything we got at the garage sale. We got a bunch of stuff, and I mean, just the sales off of that alone. Like $160 for those Lincoln Logs, $42 on Snoopy, and $54.44 for this Christmas tree. So those people were giving it away that day. We got some Powerpuff Girl vintage Christmas ornaments. Over the winter, Jess found these. We picked up, what was it? The other group was 4. So 6 ornaments. They were in a bag for $5 at Red, White, and Blue. The remaining ones, these 2 Bubbles ornaments, I just grouped those together. Took a best offer of $24. $24 on the ornaments. And they went to Japan. More wrestling crap. I can't have a What Sold video without selling some wrestling magazines. This was an Andre the Giant Spotlight magazine. And what did they pay? They made a best offer of $18. And I took it. So another $20 bill in the pocket for wrestling magazines. Dutch Boy White Lead, little 1-pound can. I think the last video we talked about this, and in previous videos. Just a great item to always pick up. You'll see them around. If you get to a garage and the gentleman there is in his 60s or older, odds are you're going to find a can of Dutch Boy White Lead. So was asking $24, took a best offer of $15, and on we go. Jenko Jeans. Yeah, a lot of this stuff was covered recently, so we're just gonna breeze through this part, I suppose. That shows you how old some of this footage is, because there's still quite a few sales after this, and these are things that I was recently talking about. Jenko Jeans, pick these up, $8 or less, don't recall. $5.99 maybe. I love speculating price, it's great. Took a best offer of $50. $50 on the vintage Jenko wide leg jeans. I owned many pairs of Jenkos when I was a young lad, when I had hair. It was good times. Dino Riders VHS tapes. It was part 1 and part 2 of, and I'm just noticing now that I put volume 2 in front of volume 1 in the picture, and I hate that. I can't believe I never noticed I did that. Volume 1, volume 2 of the beginning of it. Dino Riders was a TV series in the late 80s? Yeah, late 80s. There were toys. Everyone loved Dino Riders, and I love Dino Riders because I got $14.77 for VHS tapes I paid 50 cents a piece for. Coca-Cola Santa throw blanket, a tapestry throw blanket. This, I don't know. I wouldn't have paid more than $8 for it, and I don't think I paid that much. And was asking $69.77. Took a best offer of $45 for the Santa Coca-Cola throw blanket. Next was this vintage UConn Huskies Windbreaker, Pullover Windbreaker. Best offer? No, not best offer. 10% off sale. Was asking $33.77. Sold for $30.39, and this was a free shipping? I don't know why it says shipping. I'm pretty sure I paid the shipping on this. Boy, I'm so organized. in case you haven't caught on, I am the most inconsistent and lazy reseller you'll probably come across on YouTube. More or less just because I can't pull the trigger on going full time. Something that seems like it'd be very easy to do, that anyone can do. If you're watching this and you're not all the way in, you're still learning about reselling in eBay and Poshmark and those other places. Amazon, that's the place, yeah. You know, the largest retailer in the world, that's the one I forgot. If you're just getting into this and you're like, oh, is this a real thing? It is a real thing. And if I wasn't so lazy, I could be doing this full time, especially if you're willing to take low margins like a retail store. If you're willing to only make $5 per item, but you're doing volume, it's going to be hard work, but anyone can do this. Anyone can be a reseller. Again, I'm far too lazy. I've definitely come to accept that. When I try to do this too much, I get burnt out, and I don't like it. I like the thrill of the hunt and the find more so than making a living off of reselling. I like that it puts a lot of extra money in my pocket, but I'm far too lazy to do this full time. But you can. Don't let people, there'll be doubters, there'll be naysayers. You can definitely do this full time. Anyone can. If you have the drive and you have the discipline to be your own boss and make yourself do this, I believe anyone can make a living reselling. So, Elmo. Love to learn Elmo. Red, white, and blue. This was $15. I remember that because it was a behind-the-counter item. They didn't put this on the shelf. I was checking out. I saw it up there. The tag, the colored tag, happened to be a percentage off, 25 or 50 that day, and it ended up being $15. So I thought that was a pretty good deal for a new-in-the-box Elmo. And it turned out that was a pretty good deal because I got $50 on a best offer for a $15 investment. Got a Gramophone loudspeaker horn. This was coming up soon. There's a Vitamix blender, but this and the Vitamix blender, it was one of those right place at the right time. Walked into a Goodwill. They just happened to roll a cart out when we got over there to the hard goods section to have the Vitamix mixer on it. So it came literally from the back room, 5 feet, and into my cart. That was great. We'll get to that. And then on the way out to pay, they were just rolling out another cart, and I saw this Gramophone horn, and I just scooped it up, not really knowing if it had much of any value, and looked it up on the way to the register, and figured I could make a tidy sum on it, because I think they had it at $8, I think is what I paid for this. It's in the last video or the video prior. Took a best offer of $60, and this thing sold within 2 hours of listing it. I took the pictures before I went to work, I listed it at work, and within 2 hours, ka-ching, best offer, gone. So that was a great pickup. Again, right place, right time. That Goodwill usually doesn't give me anything. I walked out with 2 great high dollar items. Next is the last of the Longaburger chili bowls. Had some plates and bowls, a whole set. It was about $30 in on 8 pieces. This is the last one to go out the door. Took a best offer of $15.55. We're out of the Longaburger business. Sold quite a few of these chili bowls though. All in all, I probably made about $150 when all was said and done off of all of the bowls and plates. So it took a while to get rid of them, but in the long run was totally worth the $30 investment. 2 rolls of vintage Little Mermaid wrapping paper. These were $1 a roll, and grabbed them on the belief that I could get $25 for them. I didn't really have any comps to go off of, and it was just a hunch item, and sure enough, I got $32.44 for my $2 investment on vintage 90s wrapping paper. This Waterpik was new in the box, don't recall what I paid, and sold full price, $42.44, and that was a global shipping item. Some of these other ones were. I don't know why I randomly inserted that here. It's not information that I guess you really need to know. But Full price, $42.44 for less than a $10 investment. The Vitamix that we mentioned with the gramophone horn, this came out brand new in the box on a cart when we walked into Goodwill. They had it priced fairly high though. They wanted $35 for it. And I paid it because I knew that, like, at the very worst I could get $35 back for it if all else failed. But looking at the comps, I was pretty confident that I could get much more than $30, and I did. I took a best offer of $81, and this sold within a week. Had I waited, I probably could have got 98. I may have been able to get more, but there's always that chance that you could get less. So when you're $35 into an item and someone offers you $80 for it, my feeling is you take it. Some people would want to hold out, but you can't turn away from that profit. It's a great profit. So $81 on the best offer for the Vitamix Dry Grains Blender. Sopranos. HBO license, Sopranos jersey. I don't remember what the back looked like. Where's the back? The back just says HBO on it. Had this for a couple months. A lot of interest. I got lots and lots of offers on this. Especially in Australia. Is the Sopranos, is that a popular show in Australia? Because I seem to have a lot of interest from Australia for this item. It's weird. But nobody wanted to pay what I thought I could get for it. Had it up for $49, $44, took a best offer of $40 ultimately. And most offers were about $20, $25. And I knew I could get more than that. So, just to contradict exactly what I just said about the Vitamix, sometimes there's items that you can hold out on. The Vitamix blender could get oversaturated pretty quickly, and I could end up losing any profit on the item. Something like this, a jersey that probably hasn't been produced in almost 20 years, a little harder to come by. So something like this you could sit on until you get the price you want. Pillsbury Bowls. This is the third set of Pillsbury Bowls that I had sold. I'm done with the Pillsbury Bowls now. I was in for about $3.99 on these, and I took a best offer of $35. Ankle brace, nothing special. Paid a couple bucks for this. Ended up taking a best offer of $15. And would I buy them again? No. But did I make money? No. I mean, really, what did I make on a $15 offer after the fees and whatnot? What did I make? $8, $9? Still not bad. And this is the type of, bread and butter. Hi, Lotta Josh. Bread and butter items. Just something to pick up to put a couple bucks in your pocket. I probably would not buy them again, coming across them. We're rounding out the end here, as you can see. DVD VCR combo. Picked this up at a garage sale for $5. Had the remote. I supplied the AV cables. I didn't have any blank tapes to pair with it, which I know a lot of people do. I've done in the past, but I've really kind of stopped buying blank VHS. It just doesn't seem worth the time and effort for the amount you have to compile to actually get a good dollar amount in return. Anyhow, this was, garage sale, $5. Thing looked brand new. It was not a scratch or a spot on it. Everything worked. I actually used it for quite a few months before I listed it. I took another combo that I had that was much less valuable for testing. I was using this for testing VHS tapes that I was buying. So, switched out the units, ended up listing this one, and I wish I had listed it months ago because it sold relatively quick, and I got $59.44 for it. $59.44 for last item. And it's not an exciting one, but it's made me a lot of money as well. Christmas cards, a lot of 3 new in the box Leaning Tree Christmas cards, total of 60 cards. This went global shipping to Canada on a best offer of $25. And if you've watched previous videos, you've seen I've sold multiple lots of Christmas cards. They were free, and I still have probably about 2 or 3 dozen of these 20 packs out in the garage right now that I'm getting ready to list for this holiday season. No buy-in cost to me, another $25 in my pocket. So that's it. I didn't tally up the amount. I didn't write down what was promoted and what wasn't, and I didn't deduct any fees. I gave you no pertinent information to how much profit this is other than best guesses because I'm lazy. Have I covered that enough in this video? I am lazy. I think that's the synopsis of this video. Maybe we'll put that in the title. Hi, I'm lazy. So, hope you enjoyed that. Hope you'll join me again. Hopefully I'll have more to bring you in November. Vague promises about the next video, blah blah blah. You know how that all goes. I'll get to you when I have something to tell you. A couple people have suggested to me to just start a channel that isn't reselling. Apparently people find me interesting. I don't find me interesting. And I don't feel like the day-to-day things I do would be that interesting to other people either. But I don't know. It would allow me to put up videos more often, because here I feel obligated to include reselling content because that's what this channel was started on. I mean, that's why you guys are all here, is one way or another, unless you're a friend or a family member, you probably came for reselling. So I feel obligated to do that. But if you'd like to see stuff that's not reselling, I do plenty of stuff that's not reselling related. So maybe that's something down the road. Who knows? Who knows on this crazy channel? I'm gonna go so I can get this edited and get it up to you guys and not let another month pass before the next video. So I will see you next time.